we truly did everything we could and continue to do everything that we can to minimize loss of life and to minimize suffering in what has been a very, very difficult stage and a very, very difficult crisis for our country. And we watch the rain as it's falling
down. As of recording this, it's Tuesday, the 26th of January 2021, and Boris's newest, national address, I suppose, has just aired. I already will have played it as the intro, but just to reiterate, he said he's done everything, or rather, we as in the government, has done everything they could have and is continuing to do all that they can. This in terms of the COVID pandemic. How much bullshit does our government think we'll accept? Honestly. I don't understand anymore why our government continues to be like this. It has done nothing but fail us time and time again, and yet consistently just goes, oh yeah, no, we're doing what we can. We're doing, all that you'd be able to do. It's like, I'm pretty sure you've done the bare minimum, and even that is a stretch to the quantity of which you've done. It is remarkable. It is truly remarkable. From the fact that the lockdown was late, the lockdown took way longer than it probably should have to get going, the fact that schools remained open for a very long time. I got kicked out of uni, basically. I got sent home from uni way before actual schools shut. And that's because there's a disconnect between government and universities, which is actually fortunate for the first time ever. There was no enforcement, there still isn't any enforcement really of the mask policies. The government just doesn't care. It's phenomenal, honestly. Even now, our borders aren't closed, not completely. In fact, Brexit actually did more to close the borders than the government did to prevent COVID. Which is just hilarious to me. It's comedy. It's insulting. For Boris Johnson, big old Bojo, big old Boris, to just stand there and with a straight face say, we did what we can, or did what we could, or whatever. The fact he can just stand there and say that without a hint of irony or a somberness you would expect from someone who knows they've failed, it tells me that our government doesn't care. And even when the first lockdown that is, got opened back up, we had the Eat Out to Help Out scheme, which did nothing but, I've already gone over this in the Match Made in Monopoly podcast, but they legitimately did nothing to help small businesses. That entire Eat Out to Help Out scheme did nothing but support big conglomerates and big chains like McDonald's, KFC, and, to a lesser extent, places like Greg's and Subway, which they're all just places that people will go regardless. And a lot of them had been offering takeaway or delivery that people had been using. So why did the Eat Out to Help Out scheme have to apply to them? That was an oversight. I guarantee that was just an oversight on the government's part, but I just can't get over it. We're at over 100,000 deaths. And it's just rising. It's been rising so greatly every single day. And it's not slowing down. And it won't slow down for a while. We've failed to hold our government accountable for so long. And now it's too late. While we're being told only you have to stay in your house, you have to stay indoors, don't leave your home, don't go to work, we're getting no support financially. We're being told that things will get better if we, do these odd things that then aren't enforced. I went to the supermarket a few days ago. I did a full shop. I've got food for a few weeks now, which is what I've been doing generally, other than odd bits. And the amount of people that I saw just not wearing a mask in a supermarket. And I understand, some people are exempt. Some people have issues that mean that they can't wear a mask. I respect that. But no way does my local supermarket serve so many people with those sorts of restrictions. It's just not possible for that many people to not be able to wear a mask. And, power to the people that are working in these supermarkets and stuff. They're doing what they can to try and get people to wear masks, but when there's no legal enforcement, a lot of them don't really want to cause issue. Which is the issue. At hand, at its core, it's an issue of some people are just so entitled that they don't think that if it's not an actual legal thing, if it's not something that's set in law, they don't think that they have to even worry about it. It's remarkable. I often go on about how the US has failed as a country, and I often overlook some of the more noticeable things in the UK just because I don't want to admit that I'm living in just as much of a hellscape as my American friends. But it's true. This country has failed. Well and truly, it has failed. Some would say it's been a failure for a very long time. And while I wouldn't want to agree with that, more and more it does feel like that may be the case. I'm not patriotic, but I do love this country. I love the things that it provides me, the free healthcare, the opportunities that I have, whether that be my education or job opportunities, that are provided to me by this country are phenomenal. But my government is not a people's government. It's a government of individuals. And those individuals do not care about the majority. The only reason they care about the majority at all is because they need the majority to like them so that they can maintain power. The system's rigged, the system failed. And this is the end goal. The Conservatives will continue to have power for as long as Labour just fails to actually be a party. So the Conservatives will just continue to do things in their own best interest instead of the public's interest. I don't want to live in a regime by any means. I don't want to live in somewhere like China. I don't want to live in somewhere like Russia. But I just want a government that will actually control the public for the public's interest. I'm not saying that I want to be controlled. I'm not saying I want my rights restrained. I'm saying that when the government says, oh, you should wear a mask, it shouldn't be a should. It shouldn't be a suggestion. It should be in law. I say a lot of trash things about America. But you know what Biden did as soon as it was inaugurated? He made it law that you had to wear masks on public transport as well as in public buildings or government-owned buildings. Where is that from our government? It's not even like Biden is that far left. In fact, I would say he's more right than left. On the political compass, at least. But still, our government should do better. Our government should have things set in place by now, and they just haven't. It's disappointing. The world is burning, and our country is just there at the top of the flame. Hopefully things get better. That's always the hope. The vaccine is getting pushed. By the end of 2021, we might have some level of normalcy back. Who knows, I might be able to actually go and see a movie again by 2023. But that's the truth. The normalcy will never properly return. This year has changed the entire Western world forever. And most of all, it's shown the public that maybe didn't think this way before, that the government does not care. And those that won't notice that the government doesn't care are the exact people the government needed to focus on. The people that don't wear masks, the people that don't stay away from people, the people that party. The people that go against the regulations and the restrictions, and the people that complain that their rights are being impeached when they're told to stay indoors. These are the people that our government should be focusing on. But they haven't. I hope that this rant was clear. I'm just disappointed and honestly quite angry. But that is everything that I really want to talk about. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that YouTube shit. And I'll see you next time.